To the living room in Bethesda, Maryland, the home of high talent and high production values. Or maybe I should just sort of say Nukna Peel, which is hello and welcome in Klingon, which I am studying now as part of my shut-in time in preparation for a potential vacation to M364 in the Klingon system. Hey, I did want to sort of talk a little about some of the shut-in activities. And listen, I urge you all to check the back of your cupboards and the back of your refrigerators. Yesterday, I looked in the back of the refrigerator, and what do I find? I find a jar of tomato sauce from 2013. It is half mold. The other half, however, was delicious with the penne. I could say that. Hey, one of the things that was sort of irrationality going around with this, and for example, my wife is terrified of going to the store, like, psycho music. Yeah, right. So instead of going to the store, we ordered groceries on Instacart. So it gets delivered, guy comes, puts it all in front of the house, but then we spend like the next 4 or 5 hours going like, I'm not going to touch it. 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 And that's how crazy it's become. But, with all of that craziness, I see some posts on Facebook. And, this person writes oh, thank you, Corona. As a result, we're all home and we're doing puzzles together and we're building pillow forts. Really? Maybe, in my world, it seems that everybody has sort of retreated to a little world of their phones, and maybe Netflix. So for Netflix, by the way, they're kind of running out of content. There's so many people watching so many things. And in our case, on my account, there's like 12, 15 people using my account. So Netflix looks at what you do and they make recommendations. Well, there's so many people using it. So I get a recommendation from them saying like, based on your viewing history, we recommend Belle, the Prince, and strippers versus the vampires. It's a lot better than I was expecting. And the girl who played Belle and there's 2 strippers, mark my word, they are going to be big stars one day. And Netflix also is like out of Contagion kind of movies, right? We've sort of exhausted the content there. I think I've watched I Am Legend like 4 times in the last week. But I'll tell you, one of the things we're going to get out of this is there are going to be a lot of people writing Contagion stuff, like a lot. So on the other hand, whereas like the Florentine Plague gave us the Decameron, which we're still reading 700 years later, I think that what we're going to end up out of this is another like 12,000, episodes of The Walking Dead. That's how far it's come. The good news, though, one of the good news stories of the corona is that, we're not thinking anymore about the other existential threat, which is climate change. And, whereas climate change is like, I don't know, it's sort of like, it's like riding down a giant cheese grater. You kind of know, what's going on. It takes a while to get there. Whereas this COVID-19, I'll be dead in the next 2 months. So anyway, yeah, that's just kind of what we're facing now. Hey, I want to share some other news about some work I'm doing. So initially, many, many years ago, I was involved with the marketing team, and we worked with Grupo Modelo, which at that time was going to introduce what became Corona beer, right? So you kind of get a sense of what's going. And they, being, Mexico's in the tropics and stuff, and they originally the original idea was to call the beer Tropic of Cancer. We said like, nobody's going, hey, we'll get, can we get cancer over here? That's a bad idea. So we ended up settling on Corona. Which had a great run. Had a great run for, 30 years almost. And, obviously the times now are kind of, we're kind of unforeseen when we had our discussion meetings. So anyway, now we're working with them again about it, changing a brand, and we're kind of doing some beta testing, and I want to kind of run this by you. So like picture, like, here we go, like into the the new commercial. And so it's like, well, it's a Friday night and it's a summer night and it's a beautiful evening, and you're out with your work friends and you're meeting your friends and you're all having a great time. And when that happened, that's the perfect time for a cholera to get its line.